Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Bar right here on your Boom Radio NG. I bid you a warm welcome to the bar today. Today promises to be a very interesting one as we're going to be talking about quite a number of things today. In fact, a lot of the gist today will come from a lot of things that is happening around the globe, more like a lot of things that happened over the weekend in Nigeria, talking about from today Nnamdi Kanu's case that was adjourned to today. We're going to be seeing the drama, another drama today that happened, to talks of people's opinion on Yahoo Boys, to some people that went to nightclub and ended up in NDLEA office, to football over the weekend. There was so much football conversation over the weekend, so we're going to be talking about that. To someone that is talking about having 4 wives, meaning that he has 4 legs instead of standing on one, those are all the conversations we're going to be having today at the bar. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the bar with us today. My name is Dolupo, and with me in the studio is Sola Rogers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank God it's Monday. Welcome to the bar.
Okay. So we're going straight into the gist for today. There's actually quite a number of things that we're going to be talking about today. Remember, I said that the things from yesterday, and there's a lot of gist. There's a lot of gist from today, but there's also a lot of gist that happened over the weekend that we're definitely going to be catching up on. Not just catching up on, actually giving our different opinion on all those conversations as well. So we're going to be sitting down and breaking it down with you, people watching and listening to us. So let's dive straight in. First things first, so just wanted to put this out there. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, which there's something we know they've been doing for a while, have also now put out another weather report saying that from today they were going to be seeing about 3 days of dust, haze, and rain. So I think that everybody can, it's safe to say we can rearrange ourselves with that information. Most of the time, the truth is, most of those information are actually really accurate or close to accurate, and it really does help, even not just even going out, for example, like farmers or people that, rely a lot when their job comes to rain, or it could affect the rain. Even people building and all those things could really affect a lot of people. So I think that is good information that is being put out there.
Yeah, again, the precision of this information from the Meteorological Agency is also subject to your current locations at times, and understanding how funny weather can be. It's interesting. Nature is not exactly going to fit into everybody's mode of it. Like, you're driving down Ikorodu Road in Lagos and you're going towards Surulere and it's raining on that side.
Yeah.
And across the median, for the people heading towards Ikeda, it's not raining. So if someone had predicted rain, for the people on the other side, they'll be like, it didn't rain. Meanwhile, for the people on this side, it is raining, So the same goes for the 3 days of the haze. I have been noticing that for about 2 weeks in this neighborhood here. Especially when you wake up very early in the morning, you would find it. But for them to mention it, that means it's going to get harder. And it usually affects majorly aviation, amongst other things. So stay safe out there, people. Same with the flood warnings. A big shout out to, the government for managing the release of waters from most of the dams really well. And hoping that this could be the best, and hoping for more as we go forward, because we were actually expecting flood.
Yeah, that's how. I don't know if you saw that headline last week. I saw one nonsensical headline where I think the head of the Ogunosun River Dam something was saying that, the floods are never caused by the dam. And then, or would I say that maybe it's the headlines, because I saw a lot of it. So I now say, okay, let me read these stories. And then what the man was now explaining was that, it's that there's a constant release of water, especially when the water is coming from the north, So basically, they're saying that is the waters coming from the northern part that gets to the dam. That if not for the dam, that there will be worse flood. Which I get it, but like again, but to the Ogun people or Lagos people, it's the water from the dam that is affecting them. So you can't say that it's not the dam that is causing the flood. At the end of the day, yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to put it out there. But before we leave weather, there's actually a lot of weather issues around the world. India is now evacuating tens of thousands of people. That there's a cyclone Mantha that seems to be gaining strength at this point. It's such a very scary one. Also, there's a Hurricane Melissa at this point. Everything has a name. Has now been intensified to a Category 5 strength today, and looks like is nearing Jamaica as well.
Yeah, about to make landfall in Jamaica. We've been monitoring this for a couple of days now, and you know, most times you just pray that these things blow over, even if it's not your country directly. Cause you just pray, because there's a way it tends to just disrupt lives.
It definitely does. Thousands and thousands of lives. People die. People get displaced. People are homeless and all that. So it's really, our thoughts, our prayers are with people on those conversations and all those things, really and truly. Anyway, also just wanted to put this out there. The FIRS has now announced that the tax collection for the first time ever has risen to 47.39 trillion.
A lot of people will not be happy with this news, especially people who have criticized the old tax regime, especially the incoming system that kicks in January of 2026. But for those who are, the government is propagating the need to expand the dragnet when it comes to tax payments and get more people paying taxes, not necessarily higher taxes, but more people pay their fair share of taxes and all of that. This is very, very good. It seems that it's working, and you can just imagine how the new system would function.
So just wanted to put some of the stories out there. So we have a lot of time, to gist our gist. Also, there's actually been official talks of something like rice dropping drastically in Lagos. The cost, I know that for a couple of weeks it has actually been dropping, but now there seems to be like a real drastic drop in the cost of foodstuff around the country.
Yeah, of course, because we do not have proper storage systems in Nigeria. We don't have a commodities board. We don't have a system where food stuff is put in silos and proper safe places pending when the drought comes, because it usually would come. So based on weather, it's harvest season, a lot of food is available, so there is a glut. Also, the decision by this government to open up the borders allowed for people to import commodities, and what that did was that the people who were hoarding them were forced to release them, because when they keep saying that there's a glut, they have to also try and recoup some of their monies. Now, some farmers have argued that no, there's no price drop per se, and that a lot of exigencies have forced them to bring down their cost and everything. And this speaks to the need for people to understand the agricultural value chain, and that how government actually needs to help us by creating that commodities board, by also empowering more of off-takers now. There are some companies who are already doing it, who have the funds and the facility, but I don't think it's enough. And again, it must be regulated, because the fact that you got rice at a particular price, or you got yam, or you got beans,
you can't just sell
does
it,
not mean you just fix the price.
Exactly.
So, but factually, beyond all of the arguments and statistics that have been put out, the prices have dropped. This time last year, we're talking about 3 times the value of what a bag, a 50 kg bag of rice was, and what it is now. The average price that you see out there now is about 53,000 naira, because in some places it's lower and in some places it's slightly higher. So let's just approximate and say around 52 to 53,000 naira for a bag of 50 kg rice in Lagos, and of course other parts of Nigeria. It's happening like that, and this is a fact.
Anyway, so just wanted to put this out there. Also, Dangote Refinery has announced that they're going to be expanding the 650,000 barrels per day refinery to 1.4 million. That's more than twice what they're doing.
Yeah, what that means is that by the time this expansion is done and production begins or commences, they would have the largest refinery in the world.
Yep.
Move away from the talk of largest single train. We're talking now the
largest output. Yeah.
And apparently this was the plan from the get, that it was going to scale like this. Now that they've been able to stabilize, they've been in the eye of the storm. They still are one way or the other. That's Dangote Refinery. And that's what it means. And it's not just refining for aviation or for PMS or diesel. Polypropylene, for instance, I think their current output is about 900,000. That's their capacity. And they're looking at taking that to 2.5 million, 2.4 million a day. And, that is used for a couple of items that we use here and across the globe. You have videos and information out there of how some of the, like urea, for instance, some of the products that come out of that refinery already have off-takers. It's going to America, it's going to some parts of Europe, and they're looking at other parts of Africa and Asia for urea. And you need that for this thing that farmers use again, fertilizer and all of that. Yeah, thanks. So this basically shows that beyond transportation and logistics, it's also going to have a knock-on effect on farming and other things. So this is actually a welcome development. One important thing when Dangote was having this press conference, one important question that he was asked is, okay, now basically your refinery is doing well. Why don't you buy the government refineries? And he said he's not the only one that has money. That anybody else that wants to buy. He even mentioned Dapman. We've advised
Dapman
should buy. Anybody that wants to buy government refinery should buy. What people don't realize is that he had tried it in the past, and in fact, he had gotten some kind of approval until some people went to reverse it.
But the funny thing is that the way this particular government is going, it might actually be easier for someone like him to actually buy.
Yeah, so he also says he doesn't like all the talk of monopoly. So let other people bring their money. Let other people
also,
and if you notice, one of Nigeria's biggest industrialists, who happens to be a relative of his, Boa, is also in the process of building a refinery in Rivers State.
Anyway, I think that it's safe to say that all this clean energy matter is not Nigeria's other one I are saying at this point.
Two different scenarios in energy can coexist. The truth is that the world has still not moved en masse like you want. Nigeria is pushing the CNG agenda. Everybody talking about CNG for about 2-3 years now. We've been going on about it.
Yeah.
Some countries have been on it for 14, 15, 16 years.
Yep.
You get so. Eventually,
maybe it will catch on.
We're talking hybrid systems also for.
So maybe it will catch on. Anyway, so just wanted to put that out there before we come to a lot of our gist. Sadly, there is actually a building collapse that happened in Lagos State today again, and it's very, very sad. It was first talked about earlier today. Then there were people trapped in it, but now there's updates that about 21 people were rescued. And one person actually died in this building collapse. It was said to, two-story building was said to have collapsed around Oyingbo area of Lagos State.
Now, the government had actually marked this building as distressed. You get?
Yeah.
And that is the sad part about all of this.
And people are still living in...
Yeah. So, that's one thing. The other thing is that a few months ago, just down the road, Alagomeji, if you know Oyingbo, Alagomeji, they're not far apart. You get something similar had happened. You get it's almost as if every month or every other month across Nigeria, especially in Lagos, but across Nigeria, Jigawa, Abuja.
There's one story of
there will always be a story of a building collapse or the other. Now, government needs to now step up its game. When I say government, I mean the Lagos state government and the federal government. You have the equipment, but you need to ramp it up. There has to be a massive testing of buildings, especially in the areas that Ali Mosho still had one not too long ago. Especially in areas where it's really prone to all this development that has happened. It's better for us to pull down these buildings or prevent people from living in there than for us to be doing all this rescue and people be dying from time to time and everything. I'm not going to waste energy trying to speak to developers or people who are into construction. You guys are insufferable. There's nothing we can do about you anymore. They don't cut in our ear, go none of the air.
I think that is the government that can stop them from doing.
Government has the power to enforce these laws. Please take this as a matter of priority.
Yeah, urgency.
Roll out this people en masse, your people who go out testing structures. Because again, we also ask for people to be whistleblowers, and I know good one.
Yep.
And we are quick to say government, but we are government too.
Exactly. So
it's very sad.
It is very, very sad. Anyway, we're going to be going on to a lot of our gist now. But you can actually call into the studio. You can call on WhatsApp, or you can send a message on WhatsApp, or you could drop a comment on Facebook or YouTube. We'll take it on. But you could also call. The number is +234 9161637661 on WhatsApp, +234 9161637661. But the number is right there on the screen on YouTube and Facebook as well, so you can still pick it up and call in for and talk about any of this conversation.
The fact that you have that number does not mean you should be sending us videos and pictures of people doing naming ceremony. It's none of our business. Honestly, it no concern us. We're blocking you.
Okay, so we have a comment. Larger 41322 says, so some people from a different tribe have now taken the Lagos State government to the United Nations over demolition. They got the advice from Auntie Natasha.
Wow. Well, there are many Auntie Natashas.
Why do you people do this?
There are many Auntie.
But let's just we're going to do that. We're going to do that right now.
I don't know for you. When you always say these things, are you in people's minds? You just assume that you can decode everything that is being said or not said. Someone said Auntie Natasha. Is there only one Auntie Natasha in the world?
Okay.
There's only one. Oh yeah, please. Who is it? Who is this Auntie Natasha?
I don't know.
So why are you saying you're going to do that? We're going to do that.
Anyway, we're going straight into.
Please, all man for himself. No, what are you?
Point. First things first, we'll go to the courts. Now, there's been a lot of updates.
That comment actually deserves, because it also ties into the construction that we're talking about. And I saw that headline. However, I have not read the story, but I think it's extremely laughable if it is true that some people actually are reporting a state government
to the United Nations. It is laughable. It's funny that these things happen, but
you all got jokes, man.
Anyway, talking about courts. For the past couple of days, I think we'll say that there's been a lot of traction on the case with Nnamdi Kanu, the federal government against Nnamdi Kanu. There's been a lot of back and forth in the past couple of weeks. For people that do not understand, I think you need to do a bit of reading on it, from saying that he's ill to that he needs someone to check up on him, and he got checked out and he's angry that they said that he's fine, that he could get to his defense, to him sacking his lawyers or his lawyers leaving him, whichever one, pick one, to him defending himself, to now a court saying that he didn't quickly get his case filed. That was on Friday. Now that today he's gotten his case filed, he has now said that he's not entering defense because he does not have a case. But keep in mind that
you skip the fact that he had already summoned people. He had mentioned names as witnesses,
true,
which means
there was a long list of, I think, 23 names, including governors, ministers, former governors, former ministers, former aides, former retired soldiers, and all that into his case. But now he's now saying categorically that there's nothing wrong with him and he didn't do anything, so he's not entering any defense.
All right. This is our lead story, more or less, in my opinion, though. I might be wrong. And it just ties into what we had mentioned a couple of times, and what I strongly believe, that Nnamdi Kanu was always going to come to this point. And the sad part is that it doesn't care about the implications, because it seems to have it worked out. He has something in his mind, and that's what he is doing. People keep talking about how the case has been delayed. Now you know who was behind the delay of the case. It was Nnamdi Kanu all along. from one excuse to the other. You know, it's like a babe that wants to break up with you, but she doesn't have the balls or the chest to say, you know what, we're done. I'm not seeing you anymore. I don't want to see you anymore. So starts to come up with excuses. Oh, my mommy said this. The sun went down last night and I'm not happy. You know, she just be giving you excuses and excuses until it gets to a point where you're like, it's not me, it's you. It's
we have
me.
another comment.
Yeah.
Laja says, Kanu knows he can't survive the trial. He's stalling, hoping for political resolution to save face. The man is crying inside. He's a scared puppy. Don't like the brouhaha fool. Okay, don't let the brouhaha fool you.
Most definitely, and that's where I was leading up to. And thank you. Our thoughts are in alignment, more or less, on this particular one. We knew it all along, and that's why I was saying that him claiming that he wanted to defend himself, did he reveal what led his lawyers to pull out? People say he sacked his lawyers. His lawyers actually pulled out. Do you understand? And the sad part is that if you are looking for a open and short case, there's no case that looks more likely than this one, because the evidence is there.
So much evidence. But he again, somebody said that they were content creators, so he too could come up and say
the person that said he got jailed, Dolupo. Every time you raise it, I'm
just saying that it could be someone. It could be his defense as well.
He hasn't. If he hasn't said that anyway, what he has said is that he is going to call witnesses, and that people don't understand the law. I remember that video from barely a week ago when he was talking about the law, the Nigerian law, and how he knows the law more than anybody else. You get. Mm-hmm. Now, if you had filed a no-case submission once and the court tells you you have a case to answer, then you agree, then you decide to open a case, then you ask for 90 days, then you ask for the document of the case file, then you come back to say you don't have a case. If you close, because they've told him to put it in writing, that is his final statement. What that means in law is that, yes, you do not want to defend yourself. And they're
because going to use
if
whatever.
they tell you your no case submission does not hold, that means you have a case. Then you say you want to defend yourself, then you are not defending yourself. That means you are conceding.
So according to the court today, he announced said the judge, Justice James Omotosho, has asked him to file a written response to that effect and serve it on the prosecution. The judge also advised him to please consult criminal law experts on criminal law on the consequences of the option he has chosen. The judge has now adjourned till the 4th, 5th, and 6th of November for the adoption of the final written addresses based on the defendant's position that the evidence led so far on the charge has not established any case against him or the defendant to enter his defense.
Now, you will know that everything was orchestrated. The timing of the protest. And have you noticed the increase in calls for him to be released?
So now my question is...
A lot of them have forgotten one thing. I said it before and I'm going to say it again. No president in Nigeria has the power to put someone who is on trial out. However, the prerogative of mercy, the presidential pardons are only available to people who have been convicted.
Yeah, they've been sentenced, yeah.
You get? Mm-hmm. So this man has not been convicted, so all of these political calls that they are making cannot work.
My question is even, especially with governors and elected officials, basically senators and House of Rep members and all that. And it's like, okay, so take for example Governor Soludo, and I know that one is one of the people that says a lot of these things. So how is the release of one man? Are you not shelving your duty as the chief security officer of the state? Because what you're saying to people, because all those elected officials, from the governors to senators, what you're telling the rest of us is that you're shelving your duty as security officials of the state, as elected officials of the state, to one person's release or incarceration. Okay, if tomorrow the court says he's going to jail for 40 years Are you going to say that in the next 40 years there's not going to be peace in the southeast? Does it make any sense?
So again, that's why we need to establish this now. And that's why I basically more or less called out the elites in this country. A few weeks ago, the Lagos State government carried out a demolition at the Trade Fair complex. It's a market in Lagos on the way to Badagry, where they had served notices to people last year, where the people who had gone to serve them were attacked physically, manhandled, and a whole lot of things have happened. And they're saying that, oh, we are in charge of this place. This market is a federal government property based where? In Lagos. And the law says that Lagos has the right to regulate the construction of buildings and structures in its entire domain.
Yeah.
After all of this, senators, serving government officials, and politicians all went there to condemn what Lagos had done. That is a breach of law in its own. Now, Lagos comes out only with press statements. I think somewhere along the line, these people had broken the law. That's my opinion. But nothing happened. Nothing came out of it. Now, Nnamdi Kanu has not been proven guilty. Some of us feel he is. Some of us feel he is not. Do you get? Some people feel he is. Some people feel he's not. But the crimes that he has been alleged to have committed, they are victims who are out there, who are alive, who their relatives, the ones who are dead, their relatives are still living with the pain. So you want a political solution solely because it is him. What about the victims? What about the people who have suffered at the hands of his men and himself and the pronouncements he made? You get? One of the dumbest things I saw during their protest was that so-called clergy guy that was shouting, "Where's Adeboye? Where is this and that?" And I'm bringing it up again because the same Nnamdi Kanu had condemned every Yoruba pastor. He said it now. If you go to a Yoruba church, you are worse than an imbecile or whatever. I'm paraphrasing now. But he said it. The videos are out there. He broadcast it. You know? So, if we are going to be honest with ourselves, the minister that made this pronouncement a few hours ago, the senator that said it a few hours ago, the governors who have said it, all the people are saying, free this person, let this person go for this reason.
On one premise,
are people who claim that they are there to uphold the law. People who were sworn in, you know, people who have been put there by law. There's a mandate. And it is the same law that you are ready to disregard for political gain. Because, you see, where the noise is where some politicians will go. And a lot of politicians want to cash in on this Nnamdi Kanu matter now. So a lot of people are saying, free Nnamdi Kanu. What about the law of the land?
The land. If he really didn't do anything.
Why can't he defend himself and say, I didn't do anything? All of these things that they said I didn't do it. Mm-hmm. I did not do it. So, again, precedents. The instant you all succeed in twisting the law upside down and another person commits any of these crimes or something similar, you have shown him the way out.
Way out, yeah.
All he needs
just to make noise
is for people to make noise to say, free this person, because of this person there's trouble. If you free him, all the trouble will stop.
And you know the one that amazes me.
You have a perfect country.
And you know the one that amazes me is Nigeria's so-called activists. So today we're fighting the police and maybe it's NSAS or something. Tomorrow, is election review. The next day, the same set of people, they are fighting for Natasha. Next day, it is what's it called? It's Nnamdi Kanu. Same set of people. And I'm like, pick a struggle.
No, the struggle is their struggle. Once they struggle, they go there. They also need that to stay relevant, you know. Picture if you go through an entire year.
Because really, all these four things that I said,
all these four things I said
do not add up. They are not the same things.
But there's struggle in there, right? And there's cameras.
Anyway.
And people are talking about it. You say they should not go. They have to go there because picture if none of those things happened this year. Who will talk about them? How are they going to get their foreign grants and all the other things? You know, so yeah, It is what it is.
Anyway, now let's go on to talk about another gist. This particular one definitely will be following this Nnamdi Kanu case. So I'm guessing by next week, November 4th is next week. So we'll be seeing what happens next week. But hopefully, since there's no defense in this matter at this point now, hopefully maybe like a week or two, or maybe in a month, or would I say, let me be magnanimous, before the end of the year, we should have a wrap up of all this.
No, I don't think it will go beyond that November, because if he has made a no case submission.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that at least
whatever he writes now,
before the end of this year, we should be done
November,
with this drama.
November.
Anyway, Mr. Peter Obi had now made a statement. He put out a statement, which he does on a lot of things, and this was on the heels of the conversation about NFF and the amount of money they make, and even NFF had to come out, and then FIFA decided to make their header Nigeria's $1.2 million stadium, which is wonderful. Laughable though, but wonderful. Anyway, on the heels of that, Mr. Peter Obi decided to put out a statement to talk about the youth and sports and all that. And in his statement, the part of it is where he was talking about encouraging the youth, and even now had to say that even Yahoo Boys are geniuses and they require redirection and not condemnation. And this statement has now got a lot of people talking.
Okay, so when I saw his statement, I read it, and I think it wasn't linked to NFF in any way. What I saw was him talking about, he was invited to talk somewhere in Anambra State, but a church had invited him to say a few words to the youth and everything. So that part that you dropped there is news to me. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying that what I saw was him talking about having to address the youth in a church setting somewhere. And to be very honest with you, there are a lot of things that Mr. Peter Obi has said that you would find, shocking. But I think this should be in the top 10 of those things. Now, after the boom bar on Friday, the news broke about how Nigeria had been removed from the grey list and all of that. And there's a lot of joy in the land. People are talking about what that means for Nigeria's economy, Nigeria's image. And one of the things is that means you're actually tackling corruption and a lot of things. Yeah. A lot of terrible things that happen in the financial sector. It's not only banking. Everything comes together for you to get off the grey list. Nigeria and South Africa and a few other countries were removed. And it's actually a big deal. Now, one of the reasons why Nigeria is on that list is corruption. People stealing people's monies and, terrorism, everything, financing, all of that nonsense. Yahoo Boys, for those who don't understand, are fraudsters. Yeah. They are people who steal people's monies by outsmarting them.
Yeah. The basis in my books is manipulation.
Yeah.
So how do you call that and say that every
word,
redirection?
Every word that we use.
You are thieves,
Now, you had the internet. I have seen people who started learning coding on their phone, and it wasn't enough, so they were looking for money to get laptops. They eventually got the laptops, and they ended up becoming fantastic tech bros or tech sis, right? Mm-hmm. Why didn't they go into the Yahoo thing? They had an option. You get anybody that has access to the internet and access to computers and decides to steal from people is a thief.
Yes.
You're not a genius.
You're not a genius.
You're a thief.
No, let's not.
And your actions are affecting even Nigerians. The victims. Always think about the victims. There are people who have lost their life savings to Yahoo Boys. Now, Yahoo Boys are involved in romance scams. They are involved in fake contracts. They're involved in advance fee fraud, also known as 419. They're involved in a lot of negative things, and they have left in their wake, in the last couple of decades, a long line of victims.
Yeah.
And you're not looking at the
You're
victims,
saying that
Mr.
we're
Peter
going to
Obi.
redirect it.
How do
like,
you redirect these thieves and these criminals who actually have a choice? Do you know that they open universities that you can call them universities? They get money, rent houses, and now bringing more young people into their
into
enclaves,
these things,
and they are stealing people's monies en masse.
yeah,
And the
that's
bulk of
part I
them,
don't
the bulk
understand.
of them get these monies, and what they do, what they call lavish.
Spend other people's life
You get.
savings,
So how do you
people's retirement.
how do you call these ones geniuses? These are criminals. These are thieves. These are the people. The reason why some of you will not get visas easily. These are the reason why when you send a message to someone online, you meet a non-Nigerian online, and you start chatting with them, and the next thing they ask you, "Where are you from?" And you say Nigeria, they log off. I keep telling people how when we used to meet people online, then it was on the messengers, different Yahoo Messenger. There was this other one, Microsoft, all these messengers, and there's something they call ASL, age, sex, location. The person, just a lady preferably, goes, "Oh, age, sex, location," and you answer age, you put your age, sex, you put it there as male, location, you put Nigeria or Lagos. The person logs off. Like, you're a criminal. Several times, and you're not. You're just some.
Yeah, but because some set of people are decided to do, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
and this
for
was
someone
this
that
was like 30 years ago,
for someone that is trying,
and it's still
to
happening now.
want to be president of Nigeria, and you want to portray Nigeria in a good light. What are you saying? Like, oh, they need redirection. That's what?
No. They need punishment. They need to be arrested. They need to be jailed, and they need to pay.
And is this
for their
nonsense
crimes.
behavior? That's why people like Nnamdi Kanu will think that it's okay to get away with things that you get away with. And that's the problem in this country. It's the same thing, and nobody is exempted. The political class is not exempted. There's still talks of the people that President Tinubu himself pardoned, the former president.
Have you not noticed that they can't release those people?
Yeah, former President Buhari, the set of people that he pardoned, the former governors that were in jail that for corruption that he pardoned as well, and the other presidents, because everybody is going on about, oh, President Tinubu. You know that all your former presidents and all your former what are they called, attorney generals or minister of all of them and chief judge, they are all on that. They all approved it.
I'm just
all
glad
of them.
that
All of them, your governors, they all approved it. Nonsense.
Vehemently against that thing.
They all approved it.
And now they can't even release them. They say that they are processing. They should have processed first before announcing that they are releasing those
and
people.
is this nonsense behavior that we feel that we
Nigerian
need?
elite, now know that they can get away with anything.
Yeah, after a while, you will get the president to pardon
Presidential
you.
pardon.
You pardon you as
So
what?
please, it's not about redirecting Yahoo Boys.
not
It's
redirecting
about punishing them
nonsense.
so that the ones behind will know that yes, the law works.
Yes.
A criminal is a criminal is a criminal.
That's the thing now. That's the
Leave that.
mentality.
So, sir, honestly, Baba, you fall hand for that one. No, they talk this kind of thing
Sorry,
again.
but he has been falling hand for a while,
say they
so
be genius. Who be genius?
Genius call.
Person they thief other people money. They spoil people name. They spoil even your own name.
Tell people's
And
life
you're saying they are
savings,
geniuses?
people's pension. They literally take people's lives away from them, and then you say they're geniuses. Let's know what we're doing, please. Let's be thinking of whoever is writing.
Just pray that those geniuses don't try to genius you out.
They will genius
Is
you
the day
out.
that they
Your eye
enter
will
you now
clear.
yourself gonna say more.
Your eye will clear.
You suppose don't support.
Let's
the
not
call.
be,
So,
what's it called?
I don't care whether you like what we're saying or not. They say the truth hurts, and what we're speaking now is the truth. No Yahoo boy, none, not one, is a genius or a good person.
Laja says Attorney General, Yoruba meaning Attorney General. Oh God.
Attorney General.
Oh God. Y'all.
Strong.
Anyway.
Strong.
Now, just wanted to another gist that seems to have gotten a lot of people talking is Senator Ned Nwoko. He was in an interview and he had a lot of things to say. In fact, he's one of the main propagators of wanting another state in the southeast. We don't know if is going to fly, because at least as of last week we know that there's been
But
talks
you
of about
didn't
52
hear
states.
the unanimous decision that they make at the weekend that at least the Southeast will get one more state.
So
And I was like, yeah.
So we
I said
definitely will
it.
see.
I called it.
Would have that. We'll see what that happens. He's basically one of the propagators of that. Is really, really pushing that agenda. But one conversation that he had, because we know that last week also there was also talks of there was a lot of brouhaha between him and one of his wives, Regina Daniels, and there was a lot of back and forth and statements put in and all that. So of course the interviewer needed to put that and slot that in, and he was asked about having 4 wives. He has, I think, 4 official wives, and he was saying that that he does not believe that men should have just one wife, that it's like having one leg, but that now that he has 4 wives, it's like having 4 legs, and I feel that is very derogatory. I might be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong, because it's my opinion.
This topic,
I think it's completely derogatory
Dolupo,
to refer to
I'm
a
not
whole
going to, I'm
human
not,
being
sorry.
as a leg.
Sorry, please. Sorry. I'm not trying to cut her short. I'm just saying that if I speak my mind on this topic, I might need to look for where to live. So just in case, brothers out there, in case you see me carry a placard. So back to what Dolupo is saying about Ned Nwoko's statement about polygamy, because we can actually phrase it as polygamy.
No, it is polygamy.
Yeah, so you're angry at his description of women as a leg.
Yes,
the leg carries the body. What is basically
no,
painting is a support system, but you can take it literally if you want.
Nope.
Dolupo, see, we're not kids anymore. Let's talk brass tacks here. Mm-hmm. You have a problem with what is said, or with the description, or both?
I both, actually.
That's why you're thinking like that.
So now let me be.
That's why you're thinking like that.
Let me give you this. Let me tell you why I feel that. Number one, I'm of the opinion that I know a lot of people are against polygamy. I don't believe in it. However, I also don't think that I don't think there's a problem with it for people who choose is, number one, like I said, choice. I think that out of, let's say, when we talk about feminism and all that, one of the hallmarks of those things, I believe, is being able to choose. As long as a woman is not being forced into it, and it's her choice to marry a man that has been married before, or it's a number of women decide, we're marrying this person, and they're not forced into it, it's their perfect choice. I don't think anybody should be berated for whatever it is, whoever they want to be with, or it does not make any sense. Other than you go on, and it's a lot of Nigerian so-called feminists will be fighting, you should not marry more than one wife. He didn't force them. The minute he didn't force them, they are not minors. I don't think that it is wrong. However, the reason behind it and the derogatory terms that is being used at times by men when it comes to some of these things is what I have a problem with.
So you don't have a problem with polygamy?
I don't agree with it, but I do.
That means you have a problem with polygamy?
No, I personally would not go into polygamy, but I'm not going to berate somebody else for doing it. No, I don't.
Okay. I think probably you are. I'm trying to understand it. I don't want to distort your opinion, because you're really entitled to it and it's valid. You get. I think now that I'm this grown, I'm in my 50s. I've been around 50 something years. Wow. Like play. I honestly used to hate polygamy, but I don't anymore. When I was young and little and didn't know anything about the world, I felt it's wrong. Why are you marrying 2 wives or 3 wives or 4 wives? You get. And now that I know better, and initially I was like, a lot of people tell you the Bible said a man shall leave his wife and cling to his wife, and that's their own basis for it. And I said, look at all the great men in the Bible, the ones that were after God's heart, they had multiple wives.
But what was the situation with those things? There was always a situation around it.
There's no situation.
There was always a situation.
Solomon married an entire city.
And then what happened to him?
Nothing.
No, yeah, something.
It was
lots of things.
It was God's best friend.
Nope.
David had several wives.
Nope.
Abraham.
Yeah, it was situation. There were situations around it.
Abraham had how many wives again?
Yes, there were situations around it.
How many?
He had 2 or 3.
He had more than 2.
Yeah, I think there were 3, but there were situations around it. That I can tell you for a fact. There were 3. No, there were 3.
He had more than 3.
Okay.
So again, the funny thing is when you read the Bible in depth, you now see that even the women in the Bible married wives for their
what was
husbands.
The situation behind it? Exactly.
So polygamy is not against God. It's not. God is not against polygamy.
It's not.
God is not.
Okay.
God is not against polygamy.
All right.
He is not. No Christian can disregard all those men and tell me that polygamy is bad. That's one. 2.
Because
traditionally, Africans did not know anything about monogamy until the white man came. Traditionally, Africa was a place where men would marry several wives.
For what reason? Because they wanted to get a lot of children that would take to the farm. Again, it's a very derogatory behavior.
So please, excuse me, please. You see, Dolupo, do not trivialize our culture, our tradition, and our history.
Okay.
Was everybody a farmer? Are you being funny right now?
That was the reason why a lot of them did.
No, Dolupo. Where did you get this from?
Okay.
So the hunters did that to have many people to go hunting with. The kings did that to do what?
Because they were kings.
Dolupo,
and they decided
it was normal.
Besele.
Okay. Now, let's not go too far. Hardly would you find, maybe not my generation, maybe not our father's generation or our mom's generation, but from Dolupo's grandfather's generation, which happens to my grandfather's generation, hardly would you find, they're all churchmen, all of them churchmen. All.
Yeah, doesn't make it right.
Dolupo, please. Were they also looking for children to take to the farm?
No, but they were just most of them were just being funny.
Being funny.
Yes.
Yeah, you see where it is now? Is that, women will never understand the need for polygamy. Men understand. Men get it.
Okay.
Women do not have the capacity or the
but
ability.
But it's the women that you need to marry to become polygamous.
Dolupo, please now.
But they don't understand the capacity.
You didn't let me talk. Women do not have the capacity to handle relationships the way men do. Women see it from a different perspective, and there's nothing wrong with what they see. But neither is there anything wrong with what men see. So that's why a man should look for women who see it the way he sees it. And that's why, if you notice, as much as there have been terrible polygamy situations or polygamous situations, there have also been amazing polygamous situations. There have been several. So, to each his own at the end of the day. If you want to be polygamous and your wife is cool with it, your first wife, your second wife, then it's fine. There's nothing wrong. And if you do not want to be, and the wife that you married, of course, thinks along that line, then there's nothing wrong. But to make a statement to say men were being funny shows your lack of understanding. And the truth is, you will never get it. You would never get it. You will never understand it. For men, beyond the companionship, beyond the friendship, the support, and everything, there is the medical angle to men having multiple wives. There is the medical angle to it. This is something that women will never be faced with. They will never have this problem. I'm not going to talk about it too much until maybe a day we have an expert that I can talk to one-on-one, and women will never have that problem. But men do, and it kills them. So beyond these, I deliberately went to the religious / spiritual, to the traditional, to the biological. You get? However, there is also the financial. if you cannot pick your bills, if you cannot take care of your wife or wives, it is not for you. A man like Ned Nwoko is extremely blessed. And there are several men like him. And he pities men who cannot. And a lot of men won't do it because at times even the problem you're getting from women is enough beyond money. But last week I was talking about, I had a driver many years ago that had 2 wives in the same room with his mother and his children. Driver, mechanic/driver, you know. So he found a way around his own that had nothing to do with financials. But for me, if anybody likes polygamy, please go ahead. But just know that all your partners have to be in agreement.
Yeah, interesting news from that. Anyway, over the weekend as well, Davido kicked off his 5 Alive tour with sold out venue at Uyo Stadium. I think that it was a good outing, and I just want to say that I like the fact that it was a good outing, but there's a level of hypocrisy that happens all over social media in Nigeria now that, oh, there's a church that is opening, there's doing a crusade, and everybody, oh, why are we wasting our time? But the people that went to Davido's show did not waste their time. As long as you're adults and everybody can do whatever it is they want to do, I think we should stop the level of hypocrisy. It's not hypocrisy.
You're only looking at it from one prism. You're looking at it from one angle.
What angle?
I'm trying to respond. It's not hypocrisy. There will never be a situation in the world where everybody agrees with everything that's happening. The people who believe in church revivals and Hallelujah Challenge will continue to believe in it for as long as they want.
Yeah.
The people who don't believe in it will never understand it and they will criticize it. It's not hypocrisy. It's where they stand. It's what they see. We have even our Muslim brothers, they have revivals now. They have massive. If you've been to Marina at night when there's a service that is about to happen there, especially during the month of Ramadan, it is massive.
Yeah.
You get, if you're driving on Lagos Ibadan Expressway, there's Redemption Camp. There's this camp. There's also NASFAT. There's different camps there. So people do these things because they believe in them. And they have massive followership. Mm-hmm. So the people who don't believe them, they're not hypocrites. In my book, there are people who don't see it, who don't understand it.
I'm not saying that you should understand it. I'm just saying that you should everybody should have a choice. If it's okay for people to go to Davido's show and we move on from it, then don't come and criticize other people.
We can never, ever, ever, ever have a world where people will now sit down and say, you know what, it's okay to go to Davido's show. It's okay to... I'm telling you that people see things based on their own prejudice. And the prejudice that people have in criticizing what you do is because they don't see it. How many people have... Look, I don't do Hallelujah Challenge. But I don't have a problem with it because what I see there is manifestation. I saw people saying, oh, dress like what you want, do like what you want. And guess what? A lady showed a video of herself and her Muslim husband joining the Hallelujah Challenge. So I'm saying if people don't see it, they can criticize all they want, they can say what they want. It doesn't concern you. You run your own race. You run your race. On the 31st of December in Nigeria, everybody finds their way to church. Muslim, Christian, this one, that, everybody. It's become some kind of tradition. I don't see hypocrisy. I just see the fact that people see things from their own perspective. But if you have a broad mind, you would understand that Davido can do his thing, Wizkid can do his own, the church can run his game, the Muslims can do theirs. Everybody can do whatever they want to do.
Anyway, for talking about people that were gathering, that's how people went to Patio, and then all of a sudden they landed in NDLEA office. I think that it's a little, what's it called? But NDLEA has come out to say that this particular club, where even the owner was arrested, was said that they had credible intelligence that there was a lot of illicit substances that were found. They said including loud laughing gas were recovered and all that. So maybe be careful of the club that you go to, because you don't know.
Again, if you know a little bit about how these places function, some of them get cover from law enforcement. Some of them do. Some of them do. So at times, it's maybe.
Anyway,
before she moves away from me, I know we're pressed for time. I want to emphasize that thing that she said, because you can find yourself in this situation without even being someone who indulges in some of these things. You can actually find yourself. So try as much as possible to be circumspect about places where you hang out. And
very, 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 very important, actually. Anyway, quickly, Cameroon has still has the same president, 92-year-old. He's going to be president till I think 2032 or something funny like that. That's his 8th term, Paul Biya. So congratulations to them.
The sad thing about this Cameroonian situation is that the person who is trying to replace him is 79 years old. 79. So Paul Biya is 90 something.
So congratulations to them in Cameroon. That's all I can say at this point. Anyway, quickly, football over the weekend. There were quite a number of things. First, El Clasico. We saw an El Clasico that we had not seen in a while. This is the first time Real Madrid is beating Barcelona in the last 6 games that he met.
It was a good game. I saw that game to a large extent. And, you will see the fight in Madrid as against, of course, and again, Lamine Yamal has stirred a lot of
he did
emotions before the game.
He did.
And of course, they had to respond to it and everything. And it was actually a proper El Clasico.
And they fought. They ended up.
It was El Clasico.
Ended up with a fight.
I just think again, Vini needs to check his emotions and anger. Getting subbed off and whatever.
And then it was a lot. Anyway, also we saw match day 9 in the Premier League where there was a lot of upsets. I will still say that I think that it's still early days, but we really did see a lot of upsets. We're seeing teams like Sunderland and Bournemouth being in top 4. We're seeing a Manchester United that has not been close to anything maybe in the past 2 seasons, entering the top 6 this weekend. In fact, at a point they were in the top 4. We're seeing Liverpool lose. We're seeing Chelsea lose. We saw what's their name, Man City lose. There were quite a number of things, and looks like Nottingham Forest is back to losing ways again.
Yeah, football. City actually snapped a 9-game streak. Everybody thought they were on a roll, but sadly the roll has stopped. But they have to pick up from where they left off. Erling Haaland, I don't know what went wrong. That guy is amazing. He's an amazing baller. Shout out to United. They are trying to help. They have a fan who says he's not going to cut his hair until United are able to string 5 victories in a row. And the guy his hair has grown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he has grown.
It's
so
help him.
If not for anything, so that guy can see the barbers.
Help him.
And everybody must acknowledge this, that Arsenal are the best team
at this point,
the Premier League at the moment, and it's this particular season. If they bottle it, there's no point anymore at this point. And that guy should go.
He should just go. I mean, at this point, there's nothing. Also, we saw quite a number of upsets in the Nigerian NPFL. Shooting Stars that seems to be on a roll lost to Wiki Tourist. Eimba also lost their game as well. Quite a number of people actually did a lot of losing. Kano Pillars are still on the losing streak at this point. Sorry, but it is what it is. So there are quite a number of things that happened over the weekend when it comes to the world of football as well. We saw another Osimhen masterclass over the weekend. In case if you did not catch it, sorry for you, but Osimhen is who he says he is. There's nothing anybody can say about it. If you don't like it, suck it up.
Osimhen is him.
He's him, yes. Osimhen is definitely him. He's putting himself on the map for his club. And also, anyway, just also wanted to put this out there. Remo Stars decided to bow out. Not nice. Mamelodi Sundowns defeated them on aggregate 7-1 in the CAF Champions League.
A true reflection of Nigeria's Premier League situation, and it's a good experience for Remo. They can learn from this. I hope that the owners do not push the panic button. Let them go back with this exposure and experience and rebuild, because they're actually the defending champions of Nigeria's league.
Yeah, they do. They're not really, to be honest, they're not even doing so great at the moment in the Premier League. Also, the Falcons are resuming training in Abeokuta. This is a return leg where they had defeated Mazibene 2-0 at that point. So they're coming to play the return leg for the WAFCON qualifiers. Also, Egypt FA have confirmed that the Super Eagles are going to be playing with them for pre-AFCON friendly as well. So on that note, that is all we'll be able to take today on The Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much for all the comments. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of The Bombard. You'll have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead. Peace.